and welcome back to more news you can use with Herod-DeVerges and Lynne, Herod-DeVerges. We got another spectacular show for you that's going to help you climb to the next level of awareness. That's right. So thank you so much for joining the show today. That's right. You're here at More News You Can Use with Herod-DeVerges and Lynne, Herod-DeVerges. And guess what? If you want to be a celebrity on the show, just let us know and click the button below. And you'll be the guest celebrity on More News You Can Use with Herod-DeVerges and Lynne, Herod-DeVerges. Click the link. Click the link now. Hello and welcome back to News You Can Use with Herod-DeVerges and Lynne, Herod-DeVerges. We have another phenomenal show for you today. We are talking about the Stress Exploratory that we started 30 days ago, and now it's at the end. However, we still have to keep focusing on our health, how to be healthy and stress-free. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, about how we don't let the mess cause us stress. So I hope that you have brought your pen and your notepad. Why? Because note takers are money makers. So before we get going too quickly, I want to know what's in your cup. Many times I ask, or I am asked, what's in my cup? So tonight I have a little ginger tea with garlic and cinnamon. And I think, let me just try it. Ooh, that's good. I think there's a little ginger and maybe a little lemon in there, but boy, is it good. So buckle up and sit on back because we're about to have a great time here on More News You Can Use. I'm going to go backstage and I'm going to get all of our friend, the lady that always comes on and helps us win. I'm going to get my friend and your friend. She's going to help us win, Miss Lynne, Herod-DeVerges. So you just buckle up. We're going to be right back. And welcome back to More News You Can Use with Herod-DeVerges and Lynne, Herod-DeVerges. We got another spectacular show for you that's going to help you climb to the next level of awareness. That's right. So thank you so much for joining the show today. That's right. You're here at More News You Can Use with Herod-DeVerges and Lynne, Herod-DeVerges. And guess what? If you want to be a celebrity on the show, just let us know and click the button below. And you'll be the guest celebrity on More News You Can Use with Herod-DeVerges and Lynne, Herod-DeVerges. Click the link. Click the link now. Howdy!
Hello.
Hey, Lynne. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Another wonderful day of more news that the whole planet can use. Tonight, we are talking about what, Lynne? Let them know. Let them know.
We are talking about Stress Exploratory.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Many of you out there, you have been able to reduce your stress. So as Lotus says, don't let the mess put you in stress. And so we're talking today about exactly how you can shift that and any results that people have gotten from being able to join us in Exploratory this month. So it's very exciting.
All right. Fantastic. So look, Lynne, I know that like the COVID put a lot of people under stress and it caused a lot of mess, but we have got some sensational folks with us here tonight. And I know, you know, the folks that's backstage. So let's go ahead and get this show started. But before we get the show started, let's go ahead and look at all our friends from around the world that's coming in. Who we got, Lynne?
All right, so we have Margaret from California. Hello, Lotus and Lynne from Mission Viejo. Hi, Margaret. It's always great to see you. And Nalam Ra, Dr. Nalam Ra. Hello, dear Lotus. What are you drinking?
I'm actually drinking something that Dr. Nalam had told me about actually. So she know what I'm drinking.
Fabulous. I love it. And the combination sounds very yummy, very,
Yeah.
very yummy, and
Yeah.
very healthy.
Yeah, and it's great for inflammation. So maybe one day we'll have Dr. Nalam here, and she could tell us some great stuff about how to reduce inflammation. All
Yeah,
right,
sounds good.
fantastic.
Said,
So
great
we,
topic, stress management. And we've got Ezekiel Lachama.
mhm.
Good morning, good evening from the Philippines. Hi, Ezekiel.
Awesome, so awesome.
It's good to see you. And Sunday Kennison, yes, one of our favorite girls from Hawaii. Great to see you, Sunday.
All right, and there's my friend Sabetta. Good to see you, my dear. Happy to have you here. I tell you, we've got folks coming in from all over. Let us know where you coming in from because we definitely want to shout you out because you're representing for wherever you're from. So we really appreciate you. So if you are all ready to get this party started, go
Yes.
ahead and put in number 2 in the comment block below because we've got a sensational show for you. All right. So, Lynn, let's talk a little bit about this awesome doctor that we have getting ready to come out and grace us. Can you tell the folks a little bit about her?
Yes, she is a phenomenal woman. She is a psychologist that works with people who to help them release a lot of emotional tension, emotional traumas, emotional stress. She's really someone who is so knowledgeable and yet so wonderful, smart, funny, just a real jewel. And we are so happy to always have her. And I love pronouncing her name. To me, it's like music. Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo.
Did you say Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo?
Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo.
I
Yes.
love Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo. So come on out here, Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
You.
Every time you're on the air, I just feel stress free.
Oh, good.
Oh, wonderful.
Excellent. But that means you need to be on a lot more often.
Oh, well, yeah,
Amen.
maybe.
Amen. I love it. Yeah, you need to be out more often. And everybody was waiting for you to come out because they put the 2 down in the spot. So how you doing, Dr. Celina
I'm well.
Pina-Shemo?
I'm well. Just coming out of a long, busy month, but I'm back and happy to see you two wonderful women and all the wonderful work you're doing with stress and helping people get through these days and moments and this COVID. So real proud of the work you're doing. Good job.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you so much. So
Yes.
we've got another phenomenal guest about to come and grace the platform. And I tell you, she's been in TV, she's been in video production at the Columbia College of Chicago. She is a Naturally Plus USA affiliate and fan. I want you to help me welcome and give the standing ovation to our next guest, Miss Rachel Wright Lapus. Hey, Rachel.
Oh, wow, you're talking about me.
Yes.
Yes,
I am a
hey.
fan. I'm so happy to be here today.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
great to see
Awesome.
you. Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having
being
me.
with us.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. So now Lynn, this broadcast would not be complete without the bouncing diva, the
That's
queen of
right.
bounce herself, Miss Hillary Gooden. Is Miss Hillary in the house? Do you think Miss Hillary is in the house? Maybe if
There.
I put her name up here, she'll come on out.
All right. All right. And she.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see
Everybody,
you. All right, always
wonderful,
happy to have you. So
wonderful.
for those of you that's just coming on, Lynn and I have been doing this 30-day exploratory, but we have friends that's been doing it with us. And
Yes.
as you could see, they're here. And Dr. Shemo, she headed it up. She made sure she got the trackers taken care of and everything for us. And of course, while we were doing it, the wonderful diva of the bounce made sure that we were doing more bounce to the ounce and making sure we were keeping ourselves in motion. And of course, Miss Rachel Wright Lapus is here tonight, and she's going to tell y'all a little bit, maybe some secrets about stress and how to relieve some stress and get rid of the mess. So, Lynne, go ahead and kick this baby off. Let's get right into it.
All right, absolutely. So for all of you that joined us during the Stress Exploratory, first of all, thank you very much. I think we got a lot out of it. But let's start with Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo. I just really love saying your name.
Lynne, Lynne, are we going to start with Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
How do we say it? She's frozen. See, that's what we get. We love saying her name.
So, Dr. Celina, would you please share with us exactly what is stress? And, what happens when people become stressed?
So let's think about what's going on right here, right now. So, I'm sitting here in front of all these brilliant women, and I'm thinking, okay, let me make sure I put my right voice on, because I need to get this right. We got a lot of great people looking at us, and stress. This is stress. This is stress right here. Probably some of my Zooming. But stress is something. It's a body defense. It's a protection to our body, right? And the thing about stress is that it comes in all forms, from all places, anywhere. It can come from. Well, let's think about the climate we're in right now. We're in COVID. Let's just talk about that in itself. You could have a good life, a good job, a good family, but COVID is not leaving anything uncovered. And we're getting more suicide calls. We're getting more depression. I have trauma that is coming up to the surface with people. Some of my people are remembering traumas that they hadn't realized they had, and they're going through some extraordinary anxiety and panic attacks and dissociation, and it's really tough. So we go from being stressed because of our job, or because we don't have, because of not having a job, to it compounding on everything else. And so where does this live? Where does that happen? So that happens like right in, it happens in our biological system, right? And it's a threat to our biological system, and it really affects the part of our brain that we call the fear center, and the limbic system is that kind of in the back of the brain here is where the primary states are, whatever it is. But it's the limbic system, and in the limbic system is fight, flight, and fear, freeze.
Right.
So I guess I have to just think about, how have I been affected? Because I should be able to manage this, right? However, what happens is that, like yesterday, out of nowhere, because I had a busy week, I had a huge global conference that I was involved with. And then yesterday I had to leave my house, go off the island to marry a couple, because they wanted to get married, and they asked me to officiate the wedding. And I did, but I was stressed and I was tired and I couldn't bear anymore. And my poor daughter called me, and the most thing I could say to her was like, she was like, "Are you okay? Have you lost your mind?" And I just couldn't hold it together, because sometimes we just need to release the stress. And we don't even know that we're there until something comes upon us and slaps us in the face, and there it is, bang, and we explode. I'm not explosive. I'm very calm and very mellow most of the time. But a lot of times, a lot of stuff comes from the background. So we we think that we're managing things because things have slowed down a lot, even though, the stress is here, the COVID, and we don't know how to deal with tomorrow, and 45 is no help. So, there's a lot of tension going on, but we don't really know it until it really hits us, and then we begin to have the reactions. It really threatens the nervous system. So what it does, it speeds up the sympathetic nervous system, the nervous reaction, the sympathetic nervous response, sorry, and it carries it to the brain. So now we're on alert and our brain is going off. So what we don't realize, though, how stress really affects things is that not only does it affect that part of the brain, it affects our behavior, and then it affects that part of the brain, and then it starts dimming the lights on the other parts of the brain, like our prefrontal lobe, that we need to making decisions, making good choices. It doesn't, and then people start getting treatment, and they're trying to bring this stuff down, but the hormonal levels are going off the chart, and we can't keep that under control because we're in that sympathetic system. And trying to get us over to carry it over to the parasympathetic to bring it down and calm it takes a lot of work. Now, some of us are more easily to do that. And stress, sometimes we just have natural stress that we go up and we come down. We take care of it, we confront it, it's gone. And then there's other people who are moderate and they get it up there, they stay up there for a while, and then finally they can get it down. But we have so much going on right now that people are taking the moderates and going into severe, and now they're at the point where we can't figure out a way to get down. So we're doing all kind of mindful work. We're doing all kinds of, we even got people taking the CBC oils that, whatever they need, the teas, the teas that they need, seeing all kind of, naturopathic and whatever they need to get it down. But it's gotten harder because of the climate of today.
Yes.
The climate of the day has made it very difficult. I find myself getting impatient sometimes, not in my practice, but with people that I love, because it's easy to release it on them. Can I tell you my story about the elephant in the house?
Could you please tell us about the elephant in the room? We want to know.
Yes,
Okay.
we've all had that kind of experience.
Sometimes in order to do good work, you have to experience it. And so now I've experienced everything there is. I never understood what it meant to have an elephant in your room or in your house or in the closet or whatever. So 2 weeks ago, I had a visitor, and when she walked through the door, I felt like there was an elephant in the room. And I felt this very heaviness. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And by the time, I kept on listening and watching, and by the time I figured it out, I realized when I realized what it was, then I said, okay, so how do I affect this elephant? Because now I'm stressed. My whole system shut down.
Wow.
I wasn't sleeping well. I was overeating. I was eating everything in sight, and anything and everything. I was just trying to. The rest of my bodily systems was not responding appropriately. So I had to go. I went in my car and I went for a ride. Me and my best friend, Azumio, we went for a ride. And I said, you know what, Zumio? I said, we gotta get this back together. We can't live like this. So I thought about the elephant, and I said, so that's what the elephant does. Oh my gosh. So it's about, how do I feed the elephant so that the elephant will leave the room? What do I need to do? I'm praying to God and saying, what do I need to do to get the elephant out of my house? Because I can't live like that. So I got the answer. I came back, I confronted it, I talked about it, we got it resolved. And things didn't end up in a good place for me because I'd never experienced that before. But I released the week long. It took me another 3 days after the elephant in the room released itself for my system to go back to normal. So we have to know the effects of just those moments when we just feel like, why is this happening? Why does this not feel right? Just those moments. It may be a colleague calling you. It may be, having to do another show when you're not feeling well that day, whatever it might be. So we have to be mindful. And our bodily systems are so important. We have to listen to our body. Our body will tell us what's going on. Our body will tell the story. Our body will see the triggers. It will open it up and will tell us, take care of me. I need you to take care of me. Don't respond. Be quiet. Listen to your body. Have the conversation. Be present and help yourself. Don't fight, flight, or freeze.
Absolutely.
Wow. You said
Yeah.
a mouthful. Listen to your body, somebody. Listen to your body, somebody. Wow, that's amazing. So those of you that have had the elephant in the room, go ahead and put a number 3 in the comment below and maybe share what your elephant in the room was. And we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come right back and kick the mic over to somebody. Lynn going to tell y'all who we going to kick the mic over to when we come back. Be right back. Hello and welcome back to more news you can use with Lotus Richey and Lynne Herod-DeVerges. We got another spectacular show for you that's going to help you climb to the next level of awareness. That's right. So thank you so much for joining the show today. That's right. You're here at More News You Can Use with Lotus Richey and Lynne Herod-DeVerges. And guess what? If you want to be a celebrity on the show, just let us know and click the button below. And you'll be the guest celebrity on More News You Can Use with Lotus Richey and Lynne Herod-DeVerges. Click the link. Click the link now. All right. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
All right. So we're gonna kick this over. Actually, I wanted to show. I think I'm getting feedback here. I don't know if that's getting feedback here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's listening to the show while we're working, I think. Okay. Try that.
All right. Oh, that's good. Great. Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
Miss Rachel Lapus,
Okay.
we don't think it's you.
I just unmuted Miss Rachel. So that because you passed the mic to Rachel. So we want Rachel to do what they did in The Color Purple. Speak, Lord. Speak to us. Sing it, Lynn.
Please. So we want to know, what are some of the stressful things that you have found yourself dealing with lately, and what happens? What kind of reactions do you have when you get stressed? You know, some people get headaches, sometimes tension, sometimes eating everything or eating nothing. So what happens with you?
Okay, so I'm going to be really honest. I don't really get stressed that much, but I liked what the doc said, because I have a really good friend who used to tell me this a few years ago, and this is what helps me, is like your body gives whispers at the very beginning. It whispers to you, right? So a lot of it for me, I mean, this is something that's been coming on, part of my story, that's been coming on for like the past 10 years, is paying attention to what my body tells me. So when she said that, that's what I thought of, is the whispers. Like, so the body will start, well, let me back up, because it's one thing I thought of when you were talking as well, is, you know, stress comes from so many different forms. We have mental, emotional, environmental, you know, physical. But I believe a lot of the stress that there's a lot of stress that we don't have to deal with, and that's caused by ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we sometimes cause our own stresses. So anyway, I've been practicing that whisper, listening to that whisper. One thing that I noticed when I started with the products with Naturally Plus is that the whispers, actually, if you ignore them, begin to become a little bit louder, until the point, like when you're around a toddler And, you know, like my grandson will come over and I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. And when he comes in, he's just like, oh my gosh, he's disrupting my peace, you know, because he's loud and he likes to play. He's a wonderful kid, but I'm just not used to it. Right. But when my children were young, they could scream and yell all day long. And I couldn't, it just went through one ear, not the other, because I was used to it. So kind of goes hand in hand with the stress level. Like my body is telling me these things a little at a time, but as things get more piled up, you know, if I don't address it, then what ends up happening is I'm living with it now. Now I'm ignoring it. I'm just letting it slide by until, like she said earlier, you just kind of snap, or you get to the point where it's like, or even worse, you get sick. Because honestly, I mean, whether it's physical sickness or mental, I don't care. I don't want either. You know what I mean? I don't want to have a mental breakdown, and I don't want to end up with, you know, high blood pressure and a heart attack, you know? So that's, you know, that's something that I've adapted. A lot of it, I meditate every day. So a lot of it does have for me, my perspective on the stress factors that I can somewhat control, mostly control, is to listen to my body, you know, to really be proactive and think, wait a minute, is that really worth like obsessing over? Or, and like the elephant in the room, I just want to comment on the elephant in the room, because first thing I thought, like my solution for me in a situation like that would be honesty. I have to first look at the situation and be honest with myself. Is this worth me feeling the, you know, like, am I making this molehill into a mountain? It's the first question I ask myself. And if it's really valid and I'm starting to, you know, get this like, no, this doesn't feel right. I think just like you did, you came back and you talked to the person and you confronted it head on. Because I know in my past, because I've had a very stressful past, that anything that I would try to bury under the rug, stick my head in the hole in the sand, turn my back on it, always comes back to bite me. Every single time. So it's easier for me to confront it before it becomes, you know, something that's so overwhelming or unsurmountable that now I'm trying to piece things back together when I could have just, you know, nipped it in the bud when it started to. So those are two things that I practice now to help keep my stress level at a very, very, very bare minimum. So, yeah.
Excellent. That's excellent. I was going to ask you what you do to help not have as much stress. And meditation is one of the things I heard you say. And that does really relieve a tremendous amount of stress when you do that. Have you noticed or had any awareness around when you take the Naturally Plus products? If you do experience the whispers, the beginning whispers, that the products may help you to either relax more or have more focus, or just what have you noticed?
The Azumio, I started off with Azumio, only Azumio for 6 months. And I believe because of the work and the practice that I've put into really listening to my body, the first time I drank out of that pouch, I felt it. I mean, it was I don't know. I want to say supernatural, but I don't know. It was, you know how some women get pregnant and they can feel the baby like at 3 weeks, and then others are like 3 months and they still don't feel anything. I think through practice, you can learn to really listen. And I felt it. And so there's times where I know me and my dad he's a Natural Plus fan too. He joined with me. And we both realized at about 2 or 3 months that it's not like a dramatic change, but it's like a consistent, like my stressors, I don't know what you call it, but like, and it's not like taking medication, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like taking medication where you feel like you're not in your own head. You know, I know people who have taken medication and just don't feel grounded. It's more of a clarity and kind of a, like I feel more grounded. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Like it's perfect right before I meditate, you know, just really helps me with that. So Yeah. I wanted to say one more thing. I'm sorry. Somebody going to say something. I just wanted to say one more thing about the stress factor, because just to go back just a little bit, if I'm not living in my purpose, that causes stress. And I was fighting my purpose for a long time. You know, I was in a situation that was detrimental for me, but I was ignoring the signs, ignoring the signs, ignoring the signs. And when I got free, I guess you would say, when I finally got out of that situation and I was introduced to Naturally Plus, it was like, I think I grew more my first year than I had, and as long as I can tell you, because so to fast forward with my job now that we were talking about the entrepreneur thing, which nobody asked me that question. I'm sorry, I'm just jumping. I'm jumping the questions now.
So
What,
Rachel, first of all, you said that you were hearing the whispers, you was letting your body do its thing, and you did your thing. You maneuvered and did some things that you needed to do. And do
right.
what you do. We're not going to stop you. Go ahead and talk about how you left and leaped into your purpose and the difference that it made. We with you.
It made a huge difference. So I don't know how many of us have a divorce story, but mine wasn't pretty. They're usually not pretty. About 10 years ago, so I'm not going to go back that far, but that was when my life shifted. And it really went down, down, down. I thought leaving him would make my life better when really I need to look at myself. So anyway, that's been a journey. Well, when I got into production, I was really enjoying it. I was feeling the draw to become an entrepreneur. And I enjoyed that because that's what my degree is in. And I was really enjoying it, but I was working full time too. And long story short, I was getting burnt out. I was stressed out. I loved it, but I was overextending myself. So I prayed. In fact, I read this last night. I written a letter to myself last November before last, mid-November 2 years ago. Like, something's got to change. I can't keep doing this. I just turned 50. I feel like, I'm going to burn out quickly, but because of the divorce, I didn't really have a substantial 401k or any savings. What I was literally almost paycheck to paycheck, almost. I had actually been homeless for about a year and a half. I made it through that. So I saw gradual, but that particular moment was like there was a shift in my spirit saying, okay, you're doing the motions of what most people are led to do. Get a job, pay your bills, take care of yourself. But there's more, right? I knew there was more. Not 3 weeks later, I had Shizuko called me. And Shizuko is my team leader. She's my mentor in the business. And I'm like, what? Really, God, is this what you're doing? But see, I knew it, but I had to do the motions in order for it to start to come to fruition. So I jumped in, but I didn't know what I was doing. So that's where the journey began. And just so happens, we all know what happened this year with COVID. So my full-time job, I work for a major airline. It started, y'all know what's been happening. So over the summer, something told me, they were asking people to take a leave, and something told me, just take a leap of faith. I was getting stressed at my job. Like I really didn't, something. So it's like, well, if you got involved with this company, go for it. So that's what I did, y'all. Some people looked at me like, what? You just gonna leave? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
I'm gonna build my business. I'm gonna build my business. That's what I'm gonna do. And now I haven't looked back. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited. That's my story. I could go on forever, but I don't want to. I got other guests y'all have other guests on the show, but yeah, it's been amazing, amazing journey. So
that's great. The fact also, again, like you said, you listen to your body, but you really also listen to your emotional center, which I think is where a lot of stress comes from as well. And change of any sort can be extremely stressful, which is why it's so stressful right now for so many people, because most people aren't used to being with their family 24/7. You know, learn some things sometimes you may not have wanted to learn, or for those that aren't living with family members, I can think of a couple of people I know personally that say, wow, not going into the office, it just feels lonely working from home. You know, so people are dealing with change in all sorts of ways. And um, so it also becomes very much of an emotional factor, which I know Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo can talk about. And but it's beautiful that you listen to your heart center, that you listen to your body, and you listen to your mind, and a level of balanced harmony, and your spirit, and a level of balanced harmony that said, okay, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. We're not suggesting that everybody go out and all of a sudden do everything you ever wanted to do.
No. That was a huge process for me. That didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? Yeah. But balance is what we look for, right?
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. Well,
I'm laughing, Lynn, because you did your disclaimer. Now, we're not suggesting that you go out and quit your job. We're not saying that. But if you need some help, you can call that number right there. Call Lynn right there. So, but I love what you said, Lynn, and that's spot on. We have to be in balanced harmony, because when we're in balanced harmony and doing exactly what Rachel said, walking in our purpose. Because when she began walking in her purpose, she was free from some stress. Because if you're not walking in your purpose, it can be very stressful. And talking about stress, I'm not going to stress you guys out anymore. I know you want to put some 5 and 6s and 7s in the comment block below. So if you like what Rachel is sharing, go ahead and put a number 7 in the comment block below, because I saw some folks say, well, you got some 7s already. Thank you so much. I saw Angie said it's important to trust yourself. What do you want to share about that, Rachel?
Oh, absolutely. It's important to trust yourself. But this is very important, because if I'm dependent only on myself, I'm the self who got me in trouble in the first place, right? Some of the things I made got me in the place of despair and hopelessness and sheer terror, not knowing where I was going. So I had to learn to not only lean on other people, but on my faith. I have to throw my faith in, but I had to lean on something greater than me, because I messed my life up, y'all. I'm talking every area of my life. So I'm grateful, but yeah, trusting yourself is huge. But like Lynn was saying earlier, the heart comes first. That tug from the heart comes first. So yeah, learn to lean on, a greater understanding.
Yep. And trust your heart space, because heart space is really important. A lot of times, if we trust what's in our heart, it will lead us to where we're going in a more graceful manner.
Absolutely. So that higher power really speaks to you through your heart. So that's
right.
Why it's important to listen to it. And even if you don't know your purpose, you can ask for the reveal of what your purpose is. And it will be answered, as you said, over time in the process. In the meantime, keep drinking Azumio and taking the products and help yourself be a little stress-free.
Yes.
Exactly. So we always have the good stuff on hand. So we're gonna take a sip, and I encourage you all to take a sip with us.
Oh, I didn't bring my pouch. I gotta get it on the break.
So we're gonna go to a break so Rachel can go get her pouch. Okay. So we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you to the goddess of soul herself, Miss Martha High. We love Martha High on Bring Who You Are. Be sure to catch Bring Who You Are this coming Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Get it right. You holler and you scream. You wanna fight. Payback is the thing you got to see.
High, not in the cold. All right. So we are back. We up. She is on the trampoline. Oh wow, we going to a break. I gotta get
We got the queen of the
the queen of the trampoline. Hello, Miss Hillary. So, Miss Hillary, can you tell us a little bit about how stress has impacted you and what you did over this 30-day exploratory of stress? She like, you stressing me out. You're making me get off. Super lutein.
All right, we got
All right.
We can't hear you, honey.
Let me make sure. Okay, there she is. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. As we got started, I had gotten the super lutein. I told Lynne, I don't like taking things. I don't like taking pills. And I really should have got the water. That's what I have to do next. But as I was taking it, I was really trying to pay attention to my body, pay attention to see if I can tell, what's happening. And it seemed like I couldn't tell anything, and I was like, man, I so badly want to be able to tell something. But what I noticed is as I was continuing to take it, was dealing with my eyes, being able to see the clock from the bed without putting my glasses on, and little things like that. And I said, well, let me go read this information again. And it's talking about all of the stuff that's in the super lutein. One of the main things that it helps you with is your eyesight. So I was like, okay, I think it is working in. And so that's what I noticed. And I guess too, because I just hadn't been in although there's been stressful things happening, I haven't been in a stressed state. The extra balancing and probably taking the super lutein has been helping that even keel, very subtly, And so I believe that's what's been happening for me. And just being able to step away. I found when the elephant is in the room, or I don't want to poke the bear, just step away. Step away and then get my bearings or whatever,
Awesome.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody about that term. I had never heard that term. You don't want to poke the bear. And I laughed so hard when I first heard it. I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense, But yeah, so that's what's been happening for me. And I think the extra bouncing, of course, I know that's helping it. And it just I was trying to differentiate between the product versus the bouncing, But I do know that I've been seeing some difference with my eyesight. And that's a great thing because Lord knows I want to stop wearing my glasses.
Excellent. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
And super lutein actually helps with floaters. And does everybody know what floaters is? If you don't know what a floater is, put in number 8 in the comment block below. And then Lynn gonna tell you what a floater is. Put in number 8 in the comment block below if you don't know. But if you do know what a floater is, put a number 6 in the comment block below. And we already got an 8. So Lynn, You want to tell them what a floater is?
All right. A floater is a little, it looks like a little black spot, or even like hair or like thread. And no matter where you look, it always goes wherever you look. And so it's in your eyes. And at first I thought I had hair in my eyes. You know, I was constantly doing this. I'd look over here and look over there and up and down. I'm like, how come I'm seeing all this, stuff in my eyes? Well, those are floaters. And it happens over time as we mature. And sometimes it can be so disruptive, it's very hard to see. And for everybody, it's annoying, honestly. So with Naturally Plus, it actually helps to soften. I forgot, the doctor did explain to me what they were. Honestly, I've forgotten. But it is a change where there's not as much fluid in certain parts of the eye. And so it calcifies, and it's not a cataract, but it creates the floater effect. And the super lutein, as well as the Mirato Plus, are formulas designed for eye care, but they're phenomenal for overall health care. But if you have a weakness in your eyes, for sure, it's the condition. And that's what I discovered with the first month. My floaters were not visible.
And so let us just say that we are not medical doctors. So please consult with your physician prior to taking any supplements or doing any type of exercise, because as you see, Hillary over there about to put us to work. And if you are on medication for chronic or severe diseases or conditions, consult with your physician before taking any of these supplements, because hey, we do not claim that any products can cure, diagnose, prevent, or heal any ailments. But I said elements, right? Ailments. But we do know this, that these products break through the blood-brain barrier, providing rich nutrients for the body. And we can only tell our story. Right. And we're running to tell somebody. Why? Because it works.
Yes.
So with that being said, Rachel, you had something.
Yeah, I want to say something about the floaters, because I didn't even know what a floater was. I just assumed what it was. I've had a floater, one floater, for at least 25 years. Didn't know what it was. Never, because it didn't bother me. You know what I mean? Because it was tiny. But probably after about 6 months, after I started taking Mirato, somebody mentioned it, and I'm looking around like, oh, I don't have my floater anymore. just to figure like, oh, that's what a floater was. Okay, it works. But I only have one, and I had mine for a long time though. So
wow.
Yeah.
You know, I had floaters so bad. I used to play games with my floaters. It was like Pac-Man in my eyeballs, y'all. I'm just saying. That's just the truth. And it's unfortunate because I had no idea what floaters were. I think until Lynne kind of shared with me, and she was like, you know, this can help you, the super lutein. And I said, oh, really? She said, yeah, it'll help with your eyes. She said, floaters. I was like, who? I'm a Navy girl, so I'm used to being out on the water floating. But when she talked about float, she said, when you close your eyes, I was like, oh my God, those are not Pac-Man squiggly. But you know what I'm talking about. And it's funny now, but that's, you deal with a lot when you have floaters. And Phyllis Weaver said, I had gold floaters. I don't know what kind of floaters those was.
First class floaters? What is that?
Angie said, what? Really? Gold floaters? And Phyllis said, yes, I had gold floaters. Wow. So if anybody else had gold floaters, let me know. And Lori said, Lotus, you are hysterical, Pac-Man in your eyes. I'm just saying, that's what it looked like. Mr. said, playing games with floaters, huh? Hey, when you're somewhere and you gotta make time, you do whatever it takes. Oh my gosh. So look, folks, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. And then make sure you get ready to jump with the goddess diva of the bounce, Miss Hillary Gooden, our lymphologist. We'll be right back. All right. All right. I think we're ready. Up, Hillary already on hers. Wait, I'm getting on mine. Here we go. All right.
Oh, you got your shorts on too. So
I got my shorts on. Somebody asked me last week to wear the shorts, so I'm trying to, accommodate. Can we get a little music or something in the house? Let's get some music. Come on, Lynn. So, Lynn, are you doing the squats this week?
I'm gonna have to do the squats this week. Yes.
All right, Rachel. Come on. You gonna do the squats? Dr. Shemo, what you doing? All right, we got somebody that's going to bring us up some music. So every week we challenge folks to go ahead and get on your trampoline, and you can do it. It's really easy. You don't have to jump real high like this. You can just stand on the trampoline and bounce like this, because at the bottom of the bounce, something happens. Hillary, you want to tell them about what happens at the bottom of the bounce?
That's where you activate your lymphatic system and put it into action so that the vessels can work to help to get that vacuum effect, to get rid of any excess trapped fluids and toxins and stuff that get around your cells and cause you to have inflammation and pain and lack of energy and brain fog. With just doing that simple bounce. It's called a health bounce, a gentle bounce. Your feet can leave the mat, or you can just bounce without your feet leaving the mat. And at the bottom of every bounce, that's when it goes into action, because the lymph fluid comes up in your body. So it's able to rush up and activate those vessels and help yourself, help your body to be in position to get into homeostasis, so you have that balance that you've been talking about tonight.
All right. So
just 3 to 5 minutes.
Right. So you just want to bounce 3 to 5 minutes, and it really does get the blood flowing. So look, see, Dr. Pina-Shemo is grooving right there. See, you can groove in your seat.
That's right.
More than getting the blood flowing, is getting the lymph fluid flowing. Because listen, the blood has a pump. Your heart pumps the blood throughout the entire body. The lymph fluid, the lymph system does not have a pump. Movement is key to helping to activate and help your lymphatic system. Bouncing up and down on the mini trampoline, the number one way to do that.
So how many squats you got in, Lynn?
I don't know. I'm not counting.
All right, I challenge everybody out there to bust out some squats with Lynn, because Lynn is helping you win. So come on, I'm going to pause for the cause. When Lynn go down, I'm going to go down. Bam! 1. Bam! 2. Go ahead, ladies. Look at these ladies over here. Look at these beautiful ladies over here. We getting in shape. You can't let the pandemic pin you in. It's time to win on news you can use with Lotus and Lynn. Don't let the pandemic pin you in. There we go. There we go. How many more are we doing, Lynn?
About 12 more.
She said 12. God, no. Woo-hoo!
She said 12.
That's what happens when you got teenagers doing squats. They can go all day.
Yep. But it's really good. And you do the bounce for 5 minutes. After that, this is a real stress reliever. Between the bounce and the squats, it really gets rid of that stress. And we have a little bit of data and statistics we want to talk about today, but we're at the top of the hour. So I think Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo, we're going to have to bring us back, and we'll talk a little bit more about that data and how and what's happened during our stress exploratory.
There you go, doctor.
There you go. Bounce on. Now I don't have my trampoline in here, but you can still get your bounce on. You don't have to get off the floor. Following what she said about bouncing, so I'm just using my heels to get a little
We
bounce.
love it. We love it. Yes.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Lynn. Go ahead, Lynn. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hillary. So y'all know we could do this all night. You know how? That's right. That's right.
And
that's right.
Super.
That's right. That's right. Your health is your wealth. And that's right. Unequivocal. Your health is your wealth. So, Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo, I think Lynn was passing the mic to you.
Oh. All I could think of is I needed somebody to put my bouncer together.
Yes.
I do have my bouncer, but I just got it and it needs to be put together so I can bounce with you.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. You're passing the mic, Miss Lynn?
I'm passing the mic over to you.
Okay, so I can just say whatever I want to say. Is it Rachel?
Say whatever you want to say.
So, Rachel, you stimulated me with the thought of your purpose, because my book, 5 Keys to Emotional Oneness, Emotional Detox System, is about from pain to purpose, because all the pain, as you know, I see that cross behind your back, because all that we know is that everything we do is to learn how to be more purposeful. And the more experience, like that elephant in the room, it was just another experience in how to handle another situation that was, all the other situations were so heavy, the elephants couldn't come in. I mean, it was a trampede of elephants. That's something. Trampoline of elephants. It was a stampede of elephants. So, and we know that the more that we get, the more that we can give. The more that we experience, the more that we can put out, and we can heal and we can help others. And we also know that the reason why we got there is because of our faith. And we know that whatever our faith is, my faith is in God, and that's who brought me to where I am right now, into my purpose, is because I went through so much as you did. So that's why you are her dynamite at what you do. And all of us, I'm sure, have all experienced something. I know that, I don't know, a woman on the globe who hasn't experienced something, some kind of pain. But when you get to your purpose, your stresses become a lot lighter, because it's a whole different entry. It's a whole different place to live in. It's a whole different realization. It's a whole different space to play with. So you got it, you said it, and it's right on. And that's where we need to get to. Don't take the pain and use it as something that's not. It is something that is. It is a growth. It is a growth. It's with not with our water. It's a big growth. But our past is our growth, and it's what brings us to where we are today. And if my story runs through my book. And I thank God for all of those lessons, because it had not been for those lessons, who else should be a trauma expert better than somebody who's experienced every trauma in the world?
Yes.
Amen. Amen. So, when you see it, don't look at it and feel shame, or don't let those emotional feeders hurt you, the shame and the blame and the guilt and that stuff. Look at it as a gift, because at the end of it is your entry. Amen.
That's good.
She said it, and I'm going to say it. She said it, and I'm going to say it. Get her book, folks. Get her book. It's on Amazon. You will not go wrong. You will be inspired and enlightened. Get the book, The 5 Keys to Emotional Oneness, the Emotional Detox System. You can get it on Kindle. You can even get unlimited Kindle if you want, or you can get it in paperback. It's only $25. So get that book, The 5 Keys to Emotional Oneness, the Emotional Detox by Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo. You will be satisfied and happy that you did.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's so funny. She was thank you. So the night is still young. I think we had one person actually have a little computer issue, but that's okay. We're going to hold on for a quick second and let our friend Lynne come back, because it's always time to win. We've had a wonderful, wonderful time, and I see a bunch of comments here. They want to know what's up next, and we're going to share what's up next. Thank you again, ladies. Another episode has passed. It has been great having you today. Well, it's been great having you too. Nice legs, Lotus. Thank you very much. Go athletes. Thank you so much. Izumio, and this sure win. Woohoo. Yes, it's a sure win. And thank you. He said, go ladies. And Phyllis said, I was bouncing on my Simply Fit board early today. All right. I love it. And Jazz Thomas Jones. Hey, Jazz, it's good to see you. She's a phenomenal lady. If you go to Facebook, go check out Jazz Thomas Jones. You won't be disappointed. Good to see you. And I hope you can hear me now, because you couldn't hear me earlier. And Lori said, counting floaters instead of sheep and trying to go to sleep. Yeah, that's how it happens sometimes. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to our guests so they can have a final comment before we go. So Miss Rachel, would you please leave some words of wisdom with our viewers?
Thank you. I've had a great time. It's such a pleasure to meet such beautiful women. One thing I can say that I'd like to leave with is, like she just so eloquently put, that, in order to get to your purpose, you have to go through the pain, right? You have to get through it, because just like a butterfly, you can't pull a butterfly out of its pupa. I mean, you got to let it struggle to get out. And,
yes.
I just encourage people to believe in those whispers, because the world will scream at us. The world screamed at me, and I followed every scream and every voice until I stopped and sat still and listened deeply. And that's what I encourage people to do, is really just believe that spirit is there. Listen to that whisper, and move forward. We only get one life. And that is it. Dude, just go for it. No matter what it is, go for it. So it's been a pleasure and an honor to be on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our bouncing diva, what words of wisdom would you like to leave with our viewers?
As I was listening to the ladies tonight, Dr. Pina-Shemo, did I get that right? I think I did. But as I was listening, to she and Rachel, to her and Rachel talk, I was like, okay, I had that on my list. Check. Because when you're whatever you've gone through stress-wise, it boils down to some common denominators, and that's what I heard tonight from different perspectives, but we're talking about the same thing. Listening to your body is key. That's the last little bit in my book. Listen to your body, above everything else I can tell you, or any of us can tell you. Nobody lives in your body but you.
Yes.
So you need to really get to know you and what's going on and what triggers stress. That's what I had to learn. who triggers stress? What type of situations trigger stress? And then the other thing that I learned in all of my research and dealing with the lymphatic system, because listen, stress in the body has the same effect as taking poison.
Mm-hmm.
It can damage your cells.
Absolutely.
We're made up of trillions of cells. It can negatively damage your cells and affect your health. And so it's important to listen to your body. You know, leave the room when the elephant's there and you're not sure what to do with that elephant just yet. You know, you don't want to poke that bear, step aside, breathe, bounce, pray, meditate, take a walk, whatever it's going
Yes.
to do in order to hold on to your peace. Because I tell people, listen, nobody took it from you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you're not
Yes.
in possession of your peace, you gave it away. Now you got to find out
Mm-hmm.
who got your piece in their
That's
pocket,
good.
and you need to
Yep.
go get it back. Find a way
That's
to get it
good.
back and hold on to it. Because if you don't have your peace, it's going to affect your health. And when you don't have your health, it's going to affect your peace. It's like a two-sided coin. That's what I have to say. Help your
Peace be
body help
still.
you live a more vibrant life.
Help your body help you live a more vibrant life. I love that. And don't forget, join Hillary. Join our Facebook group at Transform Your Health and Peace. Make sure you join that. You'll be glad you did. So with that being said,
Can
we
I
just
say
want
one
to
more
thank.
thing before you close?
I was just going to say, we just want to thank Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo for saying what she getting ready to say.
Listen, it's really time for us to stop and be our friend. We need to sit down with ourselves. We need to give ourselves a hug every day. We need to embrace ourselves. Exactly. Give yourself a hug. Love
Yes.
yourself. And you know what? We need to start working from the heart, because that's when all the
Yes.
stress goes away. When we can work from our heart and we can come from a place of unconditional love. Who cares? Who cares if we're different or whatever the case might be? Just love yourself and then love the next person. First love God, but love
I
yourself
agree.
and
I agree.
spend time with you. Go sit someplace and be with the beautiful you that you are. We all came with gifts. God gave us gifts in the beginning, and some of us just haven't watered it enough. We haven't put enough
Yes.
fertilizer on it. So we've got to figure out, what do I need for my growth? So
Yep.
please, if you don't get anything else out of this, just sit with yourself, sit with God, be quiet, listen. That whisper, God whispers to you too. So you've got to sit down, be quiet, hug yourself, and love the world. Love the people around you. I love you, Lotus.
I love you too.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I put this on here too because we should water what God has given us. Water what God gave you, because that's the way ahead. And I want to share this with you because I see some comments and I don't want to get off the air without acknowledging these comments. Martha said, "One life, live the life fullest." Basically, live that life to the fullest. Harris said, "We only have one life. I know it from my own experience. That's why I listen closely to my body whispers and deal with elephants bravely with Izumio with me."
That's great.
Thanks, Harris and Martha. And Angie said, "Don't let any mess stress you out. Take control. The decision is yours."
Yes,
Okay, sending everybody a virtual hug. So I want to take this time and ask. We're a little past the top of the hour, but I don't want to get off without doing this. Take your left hand and put it on your right shoulder, and take your right hand and put it on your left shoulder, and hug yourself. Give yourself a hug, and don't worry about anything, because it starts with loving yourself. So give yourself a big hug. All right. And remember to breathe, 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 breathe. Lori says, being a beacon of love. And Sachiko-san, hello. She says hello from Torrance, California. We love you and we appreciate you, Sachiko-san. And I know our guest, our host, our co-host is having some internet problems, but she sends her love and she'll see each and every one of you next week. So Lynne,
hey, hi.
Go ahead and talk. We were all talking a little bit about, we were closing the show, but we didn't want to close without you, dear. We didn't want to close without you. So she's here. So you have your final words of the night, and then I'll have my final words.
All right. So first of all, I want to thank everyone who was on the show. Dr. Celina Pina-Shemo, thank you very much for wonderful, insightful words. Thank you so much, the goddess of the bounce, Miss Hillary Gooden. We always have a pleasure to have you on the show and to keep us on top of what we need to do to keep our bodies healthy and moving. And Rachel, thank you for your wonderful words of wisdom. And yes, it is true that it is important for us to follow our purpose. And even if we don't know what that is significantly, we always want to be on purpose in every single thing that we do. And that will help us reduce stress too. So just listen to your heart. And in fact, my teacher used to say to feel with your head and think with your heart, because that's where it comes from. And that's how we can also help reduce stress.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. So thanks, Lynne. Give me a virtual high five.
High five.
All right. So thanks again, everybody. We hope that you join us again this coming Friday, where we're going to have two amazing guests that you don't want to mess around and miss. So make sure you're here with more news you can use. Thank you, ladies. We've had a sensational night, and I look forward to you like, sharing, and start a watch party. Remember, like, share, and start a watch party. Run and tell somebody that we have more news you can use. See you next time. Join us next week on News You Can Use with our wonderful guests, Malcolm Chick and Scott